Okay, let's talk. If you're a Level 6 Project Controls apprentice and you've looked at the K18 knowledge requirement on commercial matters and felt, well, a little bit lost, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to crack that code together. Let's get right into it.
First things first, I want you to meet Jody. She's a Level 6 Project Controls apprentice working at a company called Ibis Stores. And honestly, she's probably a lot like you. She's smart, she's working hard, and she's trying to get her portfolio just right. Her journey is going to feel very, very familiar.
And this is pretty much exactly how Jody felt when she first ran into K18. You know, she saw words like contract types and legal principles. And her first thought was, whoa, hold on a second. I'm a project controller, not a lawyer. Does that sound familiar? I thought so. Stick with me, because we are about to break that feeling down.
So let's kick things off with part one, the challenge is revealed. This is where we join Jody right as she's coming face to face with this K18 thing for the first time. Now, luckily for Jody, she has a great mentor named Adam. He sees that she's spinning her wheels a bit, and he steps in. He's been around the block, he's seen this before, and he knows K18 isn't nearly as intimidating as it looks on paper. So he offers to help her and us decode what this is really all about.
Which brings us to part 2, decoding the contract code. This is where Adam starts to break it all down. He's about to explain what K18 actually is, and more importantly, why it's such a crucial tool for any good project controller.
So Adam explains that K18 is not about turning you into a legal expert. That's the key thing to remember. It's really about understanding the specific rules of the project you're on, so that you can set up your controls in a way that's compliant, completely auditable, and actually helps the team make smart commercial decisions.
Adam uses a great analogy. He says contracts are basically the rules of the game, and your strategy has to change depending on the game you're playing. Right? So with a lump sum contract, the supplier carries most of the risk. Your job is all about locking down the scope and managing change super tightly. But flip that to a reimbursable contract, and now the client, IB Stores, is carrying the risk. Your focus completely shifts. Now it's all about total cost transparency and keeping records that are 100% audit ready. It's the same job title, but a totally different playbook.
And this, right here, is why K18 is so much more than just a box to tick. It's your superpower. Adam really hammers this home. This knowledge protects the project from nasty disputes, it helps you manage risk like a pro, and at the end of the day, it protects your company's money and its reputation. Think about it. When things get complicated, your well-managed, contract-aware records are the best defense you have.
All right, part 3, from knowledge to action. So Jody gets the what and the why, but now she needs the how. This is where her coach, Olivia, comes into the picture to help turn all this theory into real-world practice. Olivia gives her a super clear, totally manageable roadmap. She tells Jody, look, don't try to learn everything at once. Start with the contract fundamentals. Then, connect those rules to what you do every single day. From there, you can focus on applying compliant information management. And finally, you'll start to develop that professional judgment to know when something's off and needs to be escalated. It's a step-by-step process, not a giant leap.
And to make it stick, Olivia suggests some amazing hands-on exercises. Don't just read the contract, do an impact assessment on it. Don't just file your reports, run a mock audit scenario. The brilliant thing is, these aren't just for practice. They are the perfect way to generate incredible evidence for your portfolio later on.
And that brings us to part 4, proving it. Speaking of evidence, the pressure's on. Jody's manager, Riddle, asks for an update, which means Jody now has to actually prove her developing knowledge for her online portfolio system, Aptum. So naturally, this sends Jody right back to Olivia with the million-dollar question every single apprentice asks. What does great evidence actually look like? Because, it's one thing to learn this stuff, but it is a whole other challenge to prove you've learned it.
And Olivia just nails the explanation. She says assessors don't want a big data dump, they want a story. Your evidence has to clearly answer the questions you see here. For a contract summary, don't just list clauses. You have to explain what the key requirements were and why they mattered. For your cost records, show how your tracking method directly supported that contractual need for auditable data. You got to frame every piece of evidence with this mindset. The contract required X, so my control process was Y, which managed the risk of Z. It's all about connecting your actions directly back to the commercial reality of that project.
Okay, let's move on to part 5, acing the assessment. With her portfolio getting stronger, Jody's confidence is really starting to grow. She's getting ready for the final boss, the end point assessment, or EPA. So Olivia starts prepping her with a classic EPA question.
Seriously, take a second. Imagine the assessor just asked you this right now. How would you answer it? This is where everything we've talked about comes together.
And just look at Jody's answer. It is so clear, so confident. This is a distinction-level answer right here. See how she doesn't just state a fact? She explains her strategy, the reason for it, which is protecting the commercial position, and the outcome, giving auditors confidence. That's what mastery looks like. Here's another one Olivia throws at her, a real high-stakes question. This gets right to the heart of why K18 is so important. It's about showing you understand what happens when things go wrong.
And again, Jody just knocks it out of the park. She lays out the entire chain reaction of failure. Weak positions lead to disputes, which lead to financial risk and even reputational damage. She's not just listing off risks, she is demonstrating a deep, professional understanding of commercial cause and effect. At the end of her whole journey, Adam shares this final piece of encouragement with her, and I think it's for you too. This isn't just about ticking a box for your apprenticeship. When you really get a handle on K18, you become a guardian. You're protecting your project and your whole organization.
So as we wrap this up, the final question really is for you. Jody went from being totally overwhelmed to feeling empowered because she realized that commercial matters aren't just somebody else's job. They're right at the core of effective project control. So now, how are you going to use your K18 knowledge to become the guardian of your next project?